there's a line between the community and the individual.
Yeah.
Right? If the community doesn't respect the individual's boundaries, that individual's going to or leave.
That community, you can't exist within that community. You have to find a new community that does respect who it is that you are and better fits your lifestyle and what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? And that, I feel like, and I didn't mean to cut you off, excuse me. You know, but I feel like that's where a lot of the tension comes from a lot of times. Because, I used to fit in with this community a lot more back in that time. But now it's like I'm realizing the place that I'm going to and I'm trying to reach, that ain't it no more. And it's not to say that I can't be cordial with those people and there's no love for those people, whatever the case is. But, you know, I can't live in that neighborhood no more. You know, I realize that that's detrimental to my growth. So I might need to move to this side of town. You know, figuratively and literally.
And
literally. I can still come through and kick it with y'all, but I can't live in that space. This cannot be my environment if I'm to grow and become what it is that I'm supposed to be.
Inside this topic, and we had a list of topics. We chose the most wholesome of the many.
Did we?
I believe so. This one is literally about starting over and change and everything like that. Yeah. We talked a little bit about starting over and all these artists like doing something new. And the beauty of it is when there's something new, especially in terms of art, as you know it to be, it's easy to kind of throw it all away. This is not what I'm used to. I don't like it. Because, you know, it's almost adverse to our palates, especially if we get used to a particular palette in terms of style. And I'm not even talking about your own person yet, but that's what we're talking about today, starting over. And I know John here, you know, said that, you know, you had some starting over happening in.
Man.
Yeah.
That was now, I'm pretty sure this was a lot of people, actually. You know, 2020 was a very unstable, chaotic year for pretty much everybody around the world, dude. Like, when you have somebody that says you got to stay in your house for 2 weeks or longer, depending on the sway of your local government, right? Thanks, Kemp, you know? You know, you kind of got to... You gotta refigure some things out. You know, I know a bunch of people that lost their jobs, got their hours cut, been furloughed, pay cuts, the whole nine. You know, that wasn't necessarily me. I was blessed enough to still have a job, and I appreciate it. You know, but a lot of other stuff still had to start over with. You know, and a lot of people did. You know, so it wasn't just me, but I was seeing a lot of others as well. Pretty much start from square one. You know? And what I really like it is, you know, everyone's not so much external about it anymore. You know, you could go out there and be like, oh, it's because of COVID or Trump or Kemp as to why I don't have a job, as to why I'm not making as much money as I used to make, as to why nobody's following me like I want them to follow, whatever your thing may be. You know, and there was a lot, the more I've talked to folks about it, the more it was like, okay, maybe it's not the outside, I gotta look inward. To see what's going on, to see what I really want, and to see how I can really thrive. You know, I still had a job, but you know, the job wasn't as fulfilling at that time. So I had to pick up some other stuff. So what did I do? I did what I love, training. Training, martial arts, you know, and it takes people so long to figure out what they like. Why does it take people so long to figure out what they like and what they love to do? You know, and you know, sometimes it's because you spent your whole life with somebody else telling you what you like to do. Right? Somebody else telling you to do this thing. Conditioning, right? The American education system is very much like that. You know, hey kids, do this thing. No, don't think critically until we tell you to. Right? But for right now, shut up, wait in line. Get this, learn this. Don't learn about the real stuff like, you know, taxes and investments or anything like that. Learn what we teach you, right? So there's an entire generation of folks, which, you know, we're all in the same generation, to where when we got released out into the world, nobody knew what the fuck they were doing.
True.
Right? You say go to college, and all right, bro, I'm in college. What do I do now?
Accumulate debt.
Get the debt.
That's it. Yep.
Get your degree. Okay, bro, I got my degree. What do I do now?
Wait, you didn't figure it out?
You didn't figure it out? You're an adult. You're an adult. Just be.
He's gonna give you the answers, man. Like what?
You've been giving the answers for like 10 years now.
Like these are people who literally had to ask for permission to go use the bathroom just months ago, and now think. Yeah. Can I go relieve myself? Yeah. And now it's like, welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the real world, jackass. What you do all through college?
Be somebody.
That's so true.
You know, shit, partying, drinking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hope that degree keeps you warm at night.
What are your list of qualities? Beer pong, flip cup.
Man.
Cup champ right here, man.
Wow.
So, when it comes to like starting over, you kind of got to get rid of all the stuff you thought you knew.
Yep.
All the stuff you thought you knew. You thought you knew how much money you were supposed to be making. You thought you knew what kind of job you wanted. You thought you knew the kind of person you wanted to be around. You thought you knew the kind of person you wanted to be.
Hello.
Right. You thought you knew who you were.
You thought you knew who you was.
Right.
Until that came. What happens when you don't have the job? Mm-hmm. What happens when you don't have the friends or the partner, the whatever partner you want?
Yeah.
What happens when you don't have all that? All you got is you. And you don't like you.
Mm. Right. Bro, I'm telling you, so many people had to face that revelation because of COVID. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden, it was just them. The world turned inward. And it was just like, wait a minute. You mean I got to deal with myself every day? You know what I'm saying? I have no external, escapism, nothing that can help me to relieve the stress of dealing with myself or my own thoughts or my own mind, and a lot of people had to deal with that for the first time.
Yeah, for the
which
first
is
time
wild.
in their life. Which I mean,
wild.
in a great way, it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
It's,
in my opinion.
Life for some animals you're forced to hibernate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Caterpillars are literally forced to become butterflies.
Yeah.
Well, either that or they die.
Yeah.
If you do not want to become this thing, the universe will put you in a pod. You can choose to emerge, you can choose to do whatever you want, but if you don't come out this pod, you will die, right? And of course, emerge a butterfly, be able to fly is a metaphor, but I guess you already figured that out. And I guess coronavirus really just put everyone in a pod, Yeah. And that's the scariest thing, because it's like forcing growth upon somebody, forcing someone to do something that they may not want to do.
Yeah.
And it's more than just wearing a mask, but really just dealing with yourself every day. And you could numb yourself to exactly, whatever it is. But if you keep your head, your head on straight, your eyes open, your heart, fully kept, you start hearing these things. Oh, I didn't want to do this. Or whatever I'm doing right now is not enough, or something, and it really forces that change. Now, for you said it was training and kind of starting from scratch. When, because I guess at this point, I didn't want to pivot too soon. Do y'all have any thoughts first before I kind of pivot?
Just to that's another thing. I stopped saying piggyback because say that's a negative connotation. We say veggie-back.
Veggie-back. I just thought you were saying that because you say it often. You trying to say something else.
That too. We veggie-back now. Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
Don't hug me. I'm scared.
And we'll be right back.
Damn, that hurt. Change is on the way. Change is on the way.
Gotta burn some sage.
But nah, it's that it forced you into a vortex, if you would. It's like, all right, what are you gonna do here? And I don't want to ever come off as, I guess unsympathetic. Because a lot of people couldn't handle it. Yeah. There was a lot of people who didn't make it for one reason or another. You know, God rest their souls. You know, and it's just like to be able to, I guess, go through such a traumatic experience, you know, and shake it off and get better is a blessing in and of itself. You know what I mean? I feel like it takes a very strong mind, a very strong and disciplined personality, you know, to be able to recognize that, especially the folks is like, you know what, these are things that I don't like about myself. Or I'm realizing like I don't like the person I've become. What are you gonna do with that? You know what I mean? Are you gonna wallow in that? Are you gonna, you know, continue to be this? Are you gonna, you know, continue to put this mask on, you know, figuratively and literally. You know what I mean? And like, what are you gonna do to change? And I feel like that it forced people to take a real hard look in the mirror and it's like, okay, this is either working for me or it's not. But one way or another, something has to change from this point. So yeah, going back on that, I think 2020 was a blessing in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Or it could have been used as one rather.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go from here because my thing was cooking. You know, in the house, got all this food. It's like, let me try some different things. Not that I didn't know I wasn't nice before, but it's like, I think I'm onto something here. And like, this is, I enjoy this. I enjoy this a lot more than I thought. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let me practice this more. Let me really dive into this craft. And it became therapy, you know, and that was a way to even deal with all the BS that 2020 was throwing. And it's like, all right, well, damn, if I feel good doing this, like, how can I make other people feel like maybe, you know, I can provide something, you know, to the world with this thing. So, and I've seen that a lot, you know, with people that I'm close to as well. It's like, all right, I mean, obviously we all here. I mean, got big things going. I mean, I'll let y'all dive into y'all things. You know what I mean, but it's just like it was a year of growth.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
It was a year of growth.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely appreciate that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I would have to agree. You know, it was absolutely a year of growth for me. Absolutely a curveball. You know, kind of tossed me into a situation that I was not expecting. And I really feel like what's really ironic is that I didn't actually spend a lot of time in the quarantine making music, like not making any new music, right? Like, because I had just finished February Flows, and then the quarantine happened, right? So it was like I had just done like 29 brand new songs back to back, and then the quarantine hit, and I was just like, I need to rest, kind of like replenish myself, and see what other things. Because that's often what happens after I do this February Flows series is like, okay, there were things that I had to take off of my plate in order to take on such a large challenge. Let me address those things once again and let me see how I can actually build on all of this. And something that I recognized was that there's so many other aspects of my business that I really enjoyed working on that, you know, was just really awesome to see. Like I was spending a lot of time working on getting my LLC incorporated and figuring out the finances and doing like the systems and project management stuff, figuring out different tools like different software and applications that might be meaningful to incorporate. And I feel like that was productive, but I'm not sure just yet, right? Like I feel like there was a lot of it that was an opportunity. Like I was learning and I was incorporating new things, but it has yet to reach the point of crystallization, right? Just because there was so many new things about it, not just the circumstances and the situation, but also everything that I was kind of putting myself into, right? Like different workflows, understanding all of these different platforms and everything. And I was also like really hit with a lot of client work that I wasn't expecting, which was great because, you know, initially when the quarantine happened, I thought, oh, snap, like financially this is going to be probably the most challenging year I've had in a very, very long time. And it actually did the opposite, right? And I was very blessed and fortunate for that. And even still, I feel like we're talking like as if it's kind of like in hindsight, in retrospect. This is still
real.
happening. It's still very real. We're still in the midst of the unfolding. That's like the quarantine was just the precipice, or just like the starting point.
Yeah.
That threshold. We just walked through that door. We have yet to greet the guests that are now in the room, right? And a big part of that is like looking at the financial climate of the world, right? And seeing what's to come of us. Because like they said, 40% of all U.S. money ever printed was printed in 2020.
Yep.
40% of all money ever.
If you think about how crazy that is.
But
Right.
also the spending was ridiculous as well.
Right. So
It's a lot.
You see what I'm saying? It's a lot. So thinking about all of that, it definitely put me into a space of like, okay, I really have to think about this whole idea and process of starting over, right? Like literally I had to be gearing myself up for that anyway, right? Like I was literally like sleeping on the floor at my mom's house. Like, okay, I have to start over again.
Same.
You know, I have to, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to start all the way over. Like I need to be able to, you know, get an apartment and do all of these things. And, you know, just looking at the way that the world is going, it's like, it seems so much more convoluted than it was before, right? Like, and so much more uncertain than it was before. But for some reason, I feel this excitement about it, you know, which is really interesting.
So, yeah, all of these things. And it's really interesting that the last point you made, you made so many good points, but you know, you all did, but the very last thing you said, that everything's more convoluted, but there's so much more excitement.
Yeah.
That legit is the butterfly.
Yeah.
Experiencing the same world.
Yeah.
Before, you can literally just stay on a branch all day. You on a branch all day, fam. Oh, now you out. Now you got wings. Playboy, fly to another tree.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second, but I don't know what's on that other tree. This is confusing. This is chaotic. I never use wings.
Right.
Gotta
Yeah.
learn to fly, bro.
But now you
That's
can
why they be doing that little.
Yo, people think it's cute. It's mad janky, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
no.
You gotta fix what you doing, fam. I've been seeing birds, bro. You not like that.
Oh man.
You're not as graceful, man.
Yo, but like looking at that, it's coming from like that same idea of now it's just a whole new thing, a new spirit, a new kind of thing that's almost becoming all together. And and like how you said, it's almost like we're saying it like it already happened.
Right.
It's just starting over is starting like it's a active, actionable thing. For myself, like my thing that I've really gotten into this year, and I really haven't even really gotten into it, but it's two things. First thing is the low up. Welcome. And what this entire show is about is really, and it took me a while to really figure out what it was, but it's about personal growth. It's about becoming, so to speak. It's about starting over, legit, starting from scratch. And seeing that, hey, maybe you were in one place, now you're in a place somewhere completely new. Now, what I've realized when it comes to starting over, people may always like you as a caterpillar. People may know you as a caterpillar.
Come on now.
People have been literally
Because
Careful.
look, because people have seen you like that for a long time. You know, when they know you to be like that for a long time, whenever you're even attempt to move in from another tree, it's like, yo, oh, we love you.
But you're a really good caterpillar.
As a caterpillar, dude. As a caterpillar. Look,
You had the best stripes
if you
when were a
leave
caterpillar.
this limb won't be the same. So I would hope you got wings. Stay on the
make the right decision.
right. But you notice that.
Think of the branch.
Oh man. Think of it.
Yo.
Think of the branch.
Right.
Family.
The thing is, when you hear a lot of this stuff, it's you've been in the cocoon process, you've felt all these things, you already know what you're capable of. However, the people who rolling with you, your predators, are no longer predators in the same sense. They're even different. Your family, everyone will say, hey, you're still Caterpillar, right? And it's possible to even doubt your own self, to believe as 100%. If, yo, I'm supposed to be on this limb, fam, because I've been told like 50 times.
Yeah.
Even though you've been having wings this whole time too. So, I don't know if y'all experienced that at all.
Oh, absolutely.
What? Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Right. Yo, come on.
My name is Butterfly.
I like the idea of it, that whole butterfly thing. I'm glad that metaphor just kind of popped in, but
it's a great metaphor. It's a great metaphor.
But that's been my experience. Y'all have anything on that?
Yeah.
Well, you don't subscribe to alternative culture in the black community without experiencing that. You know, you don't grow up watching anime or listening to non-hip hop or skateboarding or doing anything alternative that is not seen
or speaking properly.
Not on that Ebonics, bro. Whoa, bro, you talking white, bro?
Yeah.
Granted, we can do both.
I can code switch.
Right.
What's up?
Yeah.
But I learned code switching through being bullied.
Right.
Exactly. So you don't subscribe to any of that without knowing how that feels.
Yep.
Without knowing how it feels like to be the other. The one that does not belong, where everyone's telling you, whoa, you different. Why are you acting like that? Act the same like everybody else is.
Yeah.
You're just
conform, nigga.
Yeah, conform. And conform. Conform. What's up, bro? You don't want to conform?
I'm gonna beat you in the conformity.
I'm gonna beat you.
Right.
What?
You know, and it doesn't even come like that. It comes from, your family and some of your friends too that see you going through that change.
100%.
Whoa, why are you talking? Why are you dressing like that? You dress different. I like the old you.
Right. Or it still comes off. Sometimes it's not even condescending. Sometimes it's very complimentary. And that makes it even more daunting, right? Because like he said, oh, we loved you when you were like this. You know what I'm saying? Like they're complimenting you on things. And it's just like, dang, like I want to be praised, but
that ain't me.
Accepting that is denying who I'm becoming.
Right? Yeah. So, a person, has only a few options when met with that. You either, go ahead and put the mask back on, right? Or you act out aggressively, right? Whoa, that's not who the fuck I am. I'm different. Y'all don't know me. I'm different. Right? I'm different.
Pull up to the scene with my cinnamon. Sorry.
But, or you go at it at a very, at least how I did, I was aggressive at first, and sometimes I did put the mask on, but other times I was just like, you know what? Hey, man, that's not me.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right.
Facts. This is who I am now. You like it or love it or you hate it, whatever. You know. Learn was just being myself and being unapologetically. Keyword, unapologetically myself.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yo, this is me. This is who I am. That person that you knew months, year, last week, 2 days ago. This is me now.
Yeah. Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you like it or you love it or you don't. I'm still me. It is what it is. And I think that's what a lot of people figured out this past year. There's a lot of, I read inspirational quotes from, I don't know, y'all pages, but other folks' pages too. And it's getting into that individuality, like, yo, this is me. I'm an individual. I have my own goals. I have my own wants and desires and my own needs. And other people need to know that and respect that.
Yeah.
Not to saying that you can't be cooperative, not to saying that you can't have a community and be about your community, but there's a line between the community and the individual.
Yeah.
Right? If the community doesn't respect the individual's boundaries, that individual is going to burn it down.
Exactly.
or leave.
In that community, you can't exist within that community. You have to find a new community that does respect who it is that you are and better fits your lifestyle and what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? And that I feel like, and I didn't mean to cut you off, excuse me.
Bro, you good,
You know, but I feel like that's where a lot of the tension comes from a lot of times. Because, I used to fit in with this community a lot more back in that time. But now it's like I'm realizing the place that I'm going to and I'm trying to reach, that ain't it no more. Right. It's not to say that I can't be cordial with those people and there's no love for those people, whatever the case is. But, you know, I can't live in that neighborhood no more. You know, I realize that that's detrimental to my growth. So, I might need to move to this side of town. You know, figuratively and literally. Literally. I can still come through and kick it with y'all, but I can't live in that space. This cannot be my environment if I'm to grow and become what it is that I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And I feel like what happens more often is people don't necessarily know how to interpret that or take that more often than that, so it comes off as offense in some cases. It's like, you know, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be any of those things. But, and it's not to say that you guys are bad people, anything that of that nature as well. But the space that I'm in, where I'm trying to get to, you know, that works for y'all, and that's okay. It doesn't work for me.
Right.
Simple as that. You know,
100%.
Simple as that.
100%.
You gotta respect it.
Exactly. Or don't.
Or
you really
don't.
Don't have to.
You don't.
And that's where things, again, there's another level of tension that comes with that. They can get rocky, but no, you don't have to respect it. Just understand that I don't have to be around it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't have to tolerate the disrespect either. You see what I'm saying? And that's what, I don't even, oof. It's a whole nother rabbit hole, but it's just like, that for me has been one of the particular challenges where old me were to respond in a certain way, you know, that I'm learning, you know, is not always the best response. You know, I've known this, but it's just like, all right, getting to a point now where it's like, I don't even want to give that type of energy. You know what I mean? I don't even want anybody to have that type of effect over me. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
If I get to this point, it better be for a good goddamn reason. You know?
Yes.
But yeah,
100%.
people don't respect it. So sometimes
it's true. It's very true. It's because when you start over, there is multiple things, and a lot of things I discussed. It was like this whole metaphor or whatever, and the metaphor ended up being like this physical difference. But there's no physical difference in real life. It's all internal. The real physical difference of starting over is that it looks physically around you. Your external changes physically. Like I'm currently in my mother's home, as you saw.
Yeah.
Very nice home.
Very beautiful.
I know
the fam home. But also like you know, you mentioning that, hey, like living situations and things have changed, and not be exactly in the exact location you would like to be at, or I wouldn't even call it. Sometimes you are in the exact location you have to be at, but the circumstances around you are not quote unquote ideal, right?
Right.
The only change that we've seen is like internal, like an internal change that you know it's there. You know that juice. You know, like when like on some Final Fantasy, like I'm on a new level, right?
New level.
But it's just internal. It's just internal. External, the situation is looking quite dire.
Well, possibly.
Yeah,
Right?
it can, yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about like you're not seeing it right, and I'm just saying from the like someone told me from the outside looking in, Lee, this would have looked like, and they proceeded to tell me.
Yeah, and they proceeded to tell.
Instantly when I heard that, I was like, well, I would hope instantly my mind went to, wait, what?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yep.
Like, hold on.
Yep. And I realized that there is no reason for me to be any kind of way, you know, to somebody who says something like that. They just may not see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I see you, bro. Real talk. Yeah, I guess you're right. And then you just keep it pushing, because internally, like how, you know, you were saying, you know, we talked a little bit off camera for this about you doing something right now that you started that even though no one's quote unquote viewing or, you know, engaging with it, it's something that's built. There's an engagement there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The value is intrinsic.
Intrinsic.